Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Odeth Richardson. I am Chair of Council for RCOT. And today I am joined by Steve Ford, our Chief Exec. We are going to bring you our blog or video blog in terms of Inside Council. And this blog, for those who've not joined us before, it's about what we've discussed as part of our council meeting as an update for our members. So prior to our council meeting, we had an opportunity to have a council away day with our senior leadership team. We used the opportunity to look at our responsibilities as council members in terms of governing the organization. We also spoke at length about how we're going to work together as a senior leadership team across the organization to ensure that we meet our strategic objectives and also to ensure that we are delivering from our members. Steve, I wondered whether you wanted to share any views in terms of how you felt the away day went.
Well, I just think quite simply, we just have such busy, packed agendas, don't we? So just having an opportunity just to spend a day talking about how we work and how we can improve some of our ways of working is just really valuable. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah. As Steve mentioned before, we had a packed agenda and we spent some time talking about our position in the world in terms of a discussion. We know that our members have all been impacted by the situation with the war in Israel and Gaza, and Council wanted to spend some time to have a discussion about it. We've had a lot of responses from our members when we sent that request out for engagement on this area. And Council has clearly heard members' strength of feeling and the different perspectives. We understand that many members have been deeply affected by the war in Gaza and Israel, and we seek guidance from RCOT in terms of how we should focus our support for our members and advocating for occupational therapists. So we've heard loud and clear that members wanted us to focus on our core role of supporting occupational therapists within the UK. However, we also spent some time considering how best we respond to this and other geopolitical events and where we will be most effective, as well as supporting our core purposes. So Council believe that we can have the most impact by supporting our members who have been impacted by geopolitical events, by working to enable safe and inclusive environments for all our members, free from discrimination, promoting collaboration and respect. We also believe that this approach will be the most impactful in supporting and empowering our members. Whilst we might not always comment on every global event, we are committed to upholding human rights, occupational justice, and the principles outlined in our equity, diversity, and belonging strategy. With this in mind, we thought about what this support should look like. We will be having further discussions and deliberations, and we'll provide an update within our next council meeting. We also spent some time at council talking about our collaboration with Unison, and I wondered, Steve, whether you wanted to take this opportunity to share with us a bit of an insight.
Yeah, so we've got a project looking at how we can work more closely with Unison, and that's going well. And actually, that's going to be really important because we all know, and members will know, about this Department of Health consultation around a nurse-only pay spine. And we spent some time talking about that, just recognizing that the NHS relies on such close cooperation in multidisciplinary teams across diverse job roles. So it's not something that we support, and we will speak out against this. What we've done since Council made that decision is arranged an extraordinary meeting of the Leadership Forum, bringing together OT leaders across the UK to make sure that we fully hear their views about what they see the impact of a nurse-only pay spine could mean, so that to help us in that response. So we will be responding very strongly in opposition to that proposal.
Mm-hmm. So at our council meeting, we had Karen Orman, who is our Director of Practice Development and Workforce, and she was joined by Sohaila Mohammed, our Head of Workforce and Practice Development, and they delivered to us this strategy, the workforce strategy. Now, council was able to sign this strategy off as we'd seen previous iterations of it. But we're pleased to say that this is our first workforce strategy for RCOT. And so we're delighted that we could develop this strategy so we can support our leaders within your workplaces, that we can support you to advocate on behalf of your workforce, so that we can position occupational therapy as being vital to supporting our workforce challenges. We also spoke a little bit about our boards, so our English, Welsh, Scottish and Northern Ireland boards, and we talked about closer alignment with the boards and our strategic priorities. We'll be doing a little bit of a review over the coming months, and so we just wanted to let you know that that's in hand and we are looking forward to closer alignment. Our membership offer was discussed, and I wondered, Steve, whether you want to take the opportunity to update us in terms of where we are with that.
Sure. I mean, growing our membership is a real priority, and it was good to see that our membership numbers have increased, are increasing. We've now reached 71% of professionals on the register are now members of RCOT, and 43% of students. We want it to be better than that, but we're encouraged that the numbers are going in the right direction. It was really helpful to have the membership survey that a number of members responded to. And I think what came out of that was just this sense of how can we be more personal, more personalized in the way that we respond to members, understanding their particular interests, their particular stage of their career. So that's a real kind of focus. And that's why it was good to talk about our data systems, a bit technical, but key to providing a really fantastic personalized member offer is about having much better data and much better data systems. So we talked to council about proposals as to how we can invest in our CRM, our customer relationship management system, to get some of the benefits of that. Council asked some really good questions about the value and the impact of that. There's more work that we need to do, and we'll be continuing that discussion over the next couple of months. But a real priority to provide that personalized member offer driven by really good data and processes.
Yes. Another item on our agenda was a governance review. And if you remembered, we've spoken to our members about engaging with this review and providing us with some support in terms of how we take this forward. I'm pleased to say we had quite a significant response to our call out for engagement, and that was really hopeful. So as part of this review, we're trying to separate out RCOT issues from the BAOT issues as two separate bits of the organization. We have some work to do, and this was our first council meeting where we had two separate council meetings. We had a separate council meeting for RCOT, and we had a separate council meeting for BAOT. As we progress further with our governance review, we'll be coming back to our members for your input and for your support in helping us. Some people think governance is a little bit dry, and some people might find it a little bit boring, but it is an important aspect of what we do, and we need to ensure that the organization is governed effectively, and so we can support our members better. So we now talk a little bit about some of our finance risks and some of the challenges that we continue to face at RCOT. I think our Phoenix House rental has been the biggest challenge, and I wondered whether Steve wanted to take an opportunity to just update us in terms of where we're at with that.
Great, yeah, thanks, Odeth. So as members will know, we've reconfigured our building in London. We want to rent out some of the floors to generate some income to fund our strategy. It's a tough time in the market in London, the office accommodation market at the moment, but we are encouraged by the level of interest that we're getting at the moment, with an increased number of viewings, and we're getting on people's shortlists. This week, there was a company who had looked at 27 different sites across London. The good news was that they shortlisted us into the final two. The bad news was they did ultimately go for the other building rather than ours. But it gives us encouragement that we've got an attractive space that is potentially in demand. We are managing our resources really carefully at this time, just to manage that risk. We are still ahead of our plans because of the way that we've been managing savings kind of elsewhere across the organisation. organisation. But clearly it is something that we're keeping an eye on, and Council very rightly is putting a lot of pressure on wanting to see progress around all of this.
And I think with this, just to reassure members that with this in mind, we've been really scrutinizing our finances and making sure that we're very prudent with our spend, that there's no unnecessary spend in light of the fact that we haven't really got our building rented. But we're hopeful, we're making progress, and so we continue to keep you abreast of the situation as it develops. Council also heard from Sankita, our editor at British Journal of Occupational Therapy, and she outlined to us the progress that's been made with the journal. There has been more online views and downloads of the journal. We are about to review the journal strategy, and we're also working to improve the offer from the journal as part of our membership offer. So watch the space. We will be coming back to you with further updates as they occur. This concludes our council meeting. We hope you have enjoyed listening to this feedback and this update. So we are looking forward to further updates following our next council meeting. If you have any concerns or queries that Steve or myself can answer, please do not hesitate. You can email us at chair@rcot.co.uk. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.